All right, so here we are in my parents' attic. It's not the most ideal scenario. We don't have the best light. I don't even have a lapel microphone, but I wanted to get this out. This is a really special audio board to me. This is an RCA BC-7A audio board. It's part of the BC series, specifically BC-7. This audio board, they really didn't make a whole lot of these. These were for radio stations, some television stations, early television stations. This one was originally purchased by WCRO in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and then went through different production houses inside and around the city of Johnstown. This is the actual board that I started to learn production on, and I was fortunate enough to be able to acquire it after we upgraded to a very modern Mackie board. So we're not going to do anything too in-depth. I just want to kind of give you a tour around this board because you probably haven't seen one of these before. You might have seen similar configuration boards, but when you think of audio production, you really think of modern Yamaha or Mackie equipment with sliders and digital, and this is kind of the exact opposite. So let's dive in and take a quick look at this board. Maybe one day we'll eventually get it back home out of my parents' attic and we can actually put it back to use, making wonderful music for everyone to enjoy. The BC7 series audio boards, the BC7A and the BC7B, they had 31 inputs. You had 10 mixers on them. You can change your inputs on the top here, and then you'd be able to mix it down at the bottom. It can do stereo or mono, and it was one of the first transistor mixers on the market. Now, remind you, this is very, commercial industrial grade for radio stations, for production houses, even some television stations had these. These are built like an absolute tank, all metal construction, exactly what you would expect from a very early audio board. Like a lot of the RCA equipment at the time, everything is serviceable and modular. You see, we have all of our preamplifiers in there, and we get down to our power supply. And of course, I kept some DVC Pro tapes in there for some reason. But just look at this thing, the craftsmanship that went into this board. All of the wires are hand tied from the factory. Everything's labeled so you can easily look. This is wire number 232. We can look at our service manuals and figure out exactly what that is and what it goes to. The switches just, they feel good. The pots turn and click when you get out. Just everything works and sounds wonderful on this. I'm actually playing some Steely Dan right now. We're not gonna play the audio because I don't want to get a content match on this. But kind of walk you from the board, right? Just imagine yourself in maybe a production house, a recording studio. We got the band out there jamming away. We can go in and do our in-house push to talk and yell at them. The speaker here, this is also our monitor for the studio. That also acts as a microphone, so we can get out there and yell at them. Hey, the drums are too quiet. Kick it up a notch. You can adjust your gain on that. We also have, there's some aftermarket things that were done with this board that I believe WCRO did. You can have your control room mic, and we have our on-air indicator. So maybe I'm the DJ right now. I want to announce the next tune. We can go over here, set my pot, switch the switch over, and then get your recording right. So we can say, hey, this is WCRO coming from you from atop the Alleghenies. And we can turn that off and go right back to our regularly scheduled program. Older production boards are notorious for being difficult to interface with modern equipment. And a lot of it goes back to matrix like this. These two blocks here are all of your ins and outs for this board. So all of your 31 inputs, all of your outputs, whether it goes to your master recording, different decks, speakers, mics, maybe in-house production mics so we can yell at the band or whatnot. Everything goes through this matrix, and the inputs have to be soldered onto these posts, or you can use connectors. And for your casual guy at home, that you don't want to do that, right? You want to take it and plug and play. But that's the labor of love that comes with these older boards. You have to refer to this matrix, though, if you want to know what these inputs and outputs do. Otherwise, you're just flying blind and plugging and praying and hope you get the right ones connected. And, maybe you're not sending some voltage into a speaker or a microphone. But look at this. Again, look at some of the craftsmanship that went into all of these wires. Everything is hand-tied, tucked away, labeled perfectly. The only thing I had to do with this board was to replace one of these lights on the VU meters. Other than that, it's all original. There were some extra add-ons, like we talked about, the in-studio light right there, as well as some extra switches, and just some things that was used in video productions with DVC Pro decks as well. But that's going to be pretty much it. This is going to be a really short video, guys. I wish I had more time to dwell into this board. For now, it's going to stay in my parents' attic. That's a shame. It kills me that it has to sit here. But I do want to bring this home eventually, put it into my main system, and really give it the love and appreciation that this board deserves. A lot of professional audiophiles, guys that worked in production, and especially some of the older gentlemen that have used RCA BC-7 series boards will swear by these things, that they will give you the richest, realest tone of almost any board that they've ever used. I know of 4 other boards. I've met 4 other people that had BC-7As or BC-7Bs, and they are not willing to give these things up. It's an amazing piece of history. I'm honored that I get to have it. And like I said, it's special to me. This is the very first piece of professional production equipment I've ever used. And, for that, I'm going to keep it for a very, very long time, and I'm going to enjoy it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's going to be a short one. Next time I come to my parents without 3 kids and a dog, we'll throw this in the back of the car and we'll take it back home and really, really make it my centerpiece.